Marijuana is legal to smoke in New York, but it's against the law to drive while impaired by it. Please make the right choice and do not drive while you're impaired. But if you or a loved one make that mistake, Stephen Epstein is here to help. Stephen is a nationally recognized attorney working in the cannabis community.
I am Stephen Epstein. If you have any questions about marijuana and impaired driving, call 516-745-1500. BarkheadEpstein.com.
It's a common sense recap of the big stories. It's Katz and Cosby on 77 WABC.
On the line with us, we have Charlie Gasparino. Charlie, you have so many stories. I don't know which one you want to start with.
Whatever you want. I don't know. How you doing, John?
I am doing good. And look, we saved the free world. We saved America. And now we have to save all our inner cities.
You know, it's funny you say that. My producer last night was having dinner outside on 57th and 6th at a nice restaurant, and some homeless guy threw his soda on her and her friends. I mean, now, there's a lot worse things. There were people being shot in subways, thrown in front of trains, but the city is an increasingly dangerous place. And you literally have a whole swath of politicians in the city that say that if you defend yourself like Daniel Penny did, you're a racist murderer.
Why don't we take away all the security from all the city council people and the assembly people and the senatorial people and see how they feel?
Yeah, wasn't that Cori Bush? Do you remember Cori Bush, the squad member? Charlie, when she came out and they said, well, you get all this money. You want to defund police. He said, but I need it. I need it to defend the message.
These are really sick individuals. And, I think one of the problems the Democratic Party has nationally is that these folks do play a huge role in setting national policy. They're the reason why you had Kamala Harris, who's a very progressive wokester herself. They're the reason why they had to settle on, an oddball like Tim Walz instead of Josh Shapiro as her running mate, because Josh Shapiro is more moderate and Jewish, God forbid. So they went for a wackadoo like Waltz. And, the policies that they stand for and tolerate are just like antithetical to most Americans of all races, of all, most working class Americans. Listen, it's easy to be a liberal in New York if you're really, really rich. But even that's getting difficult because now this crime and all this homelessness is seeping into the nice neighborhoods. So, I wonder, John, if it's worth saving. You probably
we're gonna save it. And what I'm proposing is that Eric Adams takes the bull by the horns and brings in the other 6 black mayors from all over the inner cities and tells Trump we're going to bring back all those cities.
I don't think Brandon Johnson's on board in Chicago.
Yeah, I don't think the Chicago guy will join, and I'm just wondering.
And then you know what happens to Johnson in Chicago?
Yeah, prosecute.
Go directly to jail, do not pass go, and do not collect $200.
Let me ask you this: we have a mayoral. We might as well get to the point here. We have a mayoral election coming up. Are you going to run? I mean, someone like you would be perfect.
If nobody runs that's a friend of mine, I will run.
How about Andrew Cuomo? What do you think?
Andrew, I think, wants to be governor.
He doesn't want to be mayor?
I think he'd rather be governor. What do you think?
I think he wants to be mayor.
Well, we'll flip. And him will flip.
Governor's a much easier job, Charlie.
Me and him will flip a coin.
I mean, what do I know? I mean, it's interesting. It's funny you say that because when, he does sort of, I'm just going by body language here, right?
Yeah.
When I see him from time to time recently, he does say he's running, and it's kind of like he doesn't quite say. And then if you say mayor, he says we'll see. He doesn't say yes, I'm going for mayor. So you might be right. Maybe he is running for governor again. He's going to give up the mayor thing.
Yeah, it's something, I think. By the way, before we let you go,
I think
Charlie,
he wants a 4th term that his father never had.
You never know. And a bridge. Right? And a bridge named after him, too.
Yeah.
Charlie, before we let you go also, you had an interesting story, just real quick, we have about a minute, on how President Trump can stop some of the, you brought up sort of these, the Ivy League schools and the folks go in there and all the stuff that brewed, all the anti-Semitism that was happening. Also them cheering on the killer. This is the healthcare CEO killer. But there's a way to kind of cut him off at the knees. Explain what Trump could do and what he may do.
Well, you just start taxing the endowments. The endowments, these are huge funds. By the way, most of them are bigger than the biggest hedge funds. I mean, they're like Harvard's $55 billion, Penn is $20 billion. If you they pay no taxes, or they pay a marginal tax. Some of the big ones, they pay like a 1.4% tax on. It's called an excise tax on income. That's like nothing. That's like they're essentially tax-free vehicles. And they're the lifeblood of the university system. If you tax those things, if you made the money, you created a money shortage, a cash crunch at the college level, just watch what they spend money on. It's not going to be woke teachers and, teaching socialism, 101 as a mandatory course, or, hating Israel 200, it's not going to, they won't have the money to do that. And I think that is something that I hear they're talking about. They taxing up 35%. Remember, they don't pay capital gains taxes. They don't pay tax on dividends. I mean, really put the squeeze on them. If you did that, put the squeeze on them from a tax standpoint. And if the people like Mark Rowan and Bill Ackman, if they cut back on giving to the endowments to keep them, keep the cash flowing, well, they could have a cash problem, because they would have to sell investments. The investments that they have, a lot of them are illiquid. They're in private equity. So you see what I'm saying?
Right.
They would literally have to sell stuff you can't value, which means you can't sell it. You have to sell other stuff. I mean, it could really cause a mess on the college level, and they should do this immediately. I mean, this is one way to get this under control. Stop. I mean, if you think about it, why should colleges get a tax abatement, get a tax break to brainwash kids into leftism?
Exactly, right. Hit them in the pocketbooks. Charlie, thank you very much, and we'll have to keep recruiting John, okay?
Thank you, Charlie.
Bye.
Eden Memorial Chapels understands Jewish funerals can take many forms. Some are Orthodox, while others are more conservative or of a Reformed nature. There's no one better. With services close to all New York and New Jersey cemeteries, Eden Memorial Chapels offer fair and balanced pricing and can provide easy transfer of you and your loved ones to Israel. While you're grieving, they're here to take care of all the details so that you deal with less bureaucracy and have more peace of mind. Go to EdenMemorial.com. That's EdenMemorial.com.
City here for my good friends at Inhala.com. Let's talk about serious business. Sleep apnea. Whether you've been diagnosed with it or afraid you have it, I've got the solution. Inhala is here to give you your life back by giving you your breath back. They make it easy to get help for sleep apnea, because living without restful sleep is simply no way to live. Inhala gives you a custom-fitted oral appliance that opens your airway so you naturally breathe the way nature intended. The best part is they offer virtual consultations and in-home sleep testing. No overnight stays at a sleep center. Plus, Inhala has all the doctors that you'll need. Appointments are virtual, and it's all covered by your private medical insurance. Inhala does it all, from diagnosis to the delivery. Don't suffer from another sleepless night or daytime fatigue. Visit Inhala.com or call 844-INHALA-1. That's 844-INHALA and the number 1. Call now. 844-INHALA-1. That's 844-INHALA-1.